what's up, Seekers?
Wanugee with Golden Dragon Fortunes, your K-Rap Psychic, and I'm with here with
Mai-Li Lotus, Feng Shui consultant and numerologist.
Yes, and so today we're going to combine together and do a reading for a very popular actor, kind of a heartthrob. Maybe you saw him in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim or in Itaewon Class, and it's going to be Park Seo Joon. And we're going to do a reading for him, both using numerology and our mahjong tiles, and we're going to do that next. So are you ready? Here we go.
Hey, what's up, seekers? Looking in the future, beakers. You K-pop leakers coming round and see us every weekers. Yo, diehard K-pop fans, I want to know your stance. Just let us know your bias, then go ahead, try us.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
Hola.
Namaste, minasan.
Ni hao.
Hey, welcome everybody. Come on in to this reading for Park Seo Joon. We're going to see, we're going to do the mahjong tiles like we've done in the past and see what's going on with his future, his career, and his love. But before we do that, we're going to turn it over to Mai-Li, and she's going to look at his numerology. So,
his birthday is December 16th, 1988.
right.
His destiny number is a 9, and his personality is a 7. I got his destiny number from his entire birthday, which is December 16th, 1988, and his personality came from the day he was born, 16.
Okay.
So his destiny is his life path, and the 9 stands for care, love, compassion. He's a philanthropist, so he's quite charitable, perfectionist, a visionary who wants to beautify everything.
Okay.
He tends to be a little bit impatient when others don't perform the way he wants them to be.
So he's a bit of a perfectionist.
That's where that comes in, yes. Slightly impatient, easily disappointed, and maybe a little gullible. But his personality...
You know what? Let me interrupt, but you know, when he played the role of the CEO in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, he was a super narcissist, and he was all those things. He was some of those negative things, like perfectionist, how to be perfect. If you haven't seen the drama, you might check it out. But anyway, sorry.
So he was sort of familiar with some of those personality traits.
Yeah, I mean that guy was ridiculous, but you know. Anyway.
Well, his personality actually is a little bit different from his destiny of number 9. His personality is a 7. And in his private life, he tends to be introspective, an opinionated thinker, quite intuitive, spiritual. He's interested in the universal consciousness, independent. That's probably why he's so successful. And when he gets a little bit imbalanced, he tends to be a little frail because his nervous system gets to weaken up a little bit because of that.
Okay.
But
so he's sensitive that way.
very sensitive as a number 7, yes.
Okay. Well, you know, to be a good actor, and he's a good actor, you have to be sensitive.
Yes, and very in tune to his characters.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And then being intuitive too is, I think, you know, it's important as an actor. So I mean, yeah, I think he's a really good actor.
Oh yes, he is definitely.
Okay, so
Yes.
is that it?
Yes, there is. I'm going to hand it back to you.
Okay, all right, great. So we're going to look at his future, and we're going to use our mahjong tiles. Actually, these are Mai-Li's little miniature mahjong tiles. They're actually smaller than what I usually use, but we're going to use those. And I already kind of concentrated and focused on Park Seo Joon, and pulled the tiles already with him in mind, kind of his energy. And we're going to see what they say. We're going to look at first. We're going to look at his overall, just between now and the next year, probably about next summer, maybe 6 to 12 months, more or less. So we're going to go from the center, like we do, and out, and see what the tiles say. So I'll give a quick overview of what you can expect in general for energy-wise for the next year. And it says that there's going to be some nice energy for him coming up here in the next 3 months or so. The pearl shows up, one of the circles. This represents good energy, something special, refined, and precious. I know I think he's working on a new drama, a new project, and it says that he's going to be very hopeful about this. The 7th wand represents his hopes and dreams and wishes, so he's going to be hopeful about this new role or this new opportunity, or maybe something else, but it seems to say in the next 3 months that's going to be emphasized. And it says it's going to be in about 3 to 6 months, so probably around the end of the year. There's going to be some travel or something to do with land and property or location change. because this Three of Wands represents all those things. And it seems to say that maybe something about that is going to have a healing opportunity for him, because the Three of Bamboo represents healing. So somehow maybe he's going to be able to let go of some past disappointments and do some emotional healing, maybe doing a little R&R here. I don't know, relaxation and rest. But it seems like something like that's going to be happening toward the end of the year. And as he starts the new year, he's going to be really doing a lot of communications. The Six of Bamboo represents communicating, talking. Maybe he's doing one of these promotional tours or something for his drama. It says that he's going to be very happy because this Nine of Wands represents happiness. And so it seems to say that he's going to be happy about this communication, what's going on, probably around the first 4 months of 2022. And as you go a little bit farther, it says everything kind of comes together, probably around the second quarter or springtime, around April, May, June, July, maybe August, somewhere in the summer, about 12 months from now, because the center tile shows up. This represents everything starting to come together to the center. There's starting to be some achievement, some success. So maybe there's some recognition in what he's accomplished. And again, it says he's going to be very happy about how things are in the next summer. This represents happiness. So that's it overall. Any comments on that? Or?
No, that sounds like a really nice read.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So now we're going to kind of look at his career a little bit more specifically, or kind of split that out and see what it says in the same time frame, the next 12 months. And it says that he's going to be doing something new. The Fa shows up. This represents like Gong Hei Fa Cho or Gong Si Fa Sai, when means to start a new year. But in this case, in this style, it represents something new is happening, roughly in the next quarter, next 3 months or so. 4 months perhaps, more or less. And it seems to say there's going to need to be some flexibility and adaptability as this new thing kind of moves forward, because this willow tree is kind of bending with the wind, not breaking. So it represents some flexibility and adaptability maybe is required or important to get this new thing project going. And it says as you go out, perhaps maybe 3 to 6 months from now or so, maybe 4 to 7 months. Again, it says there's going to be some emphasis on communications, and something about this communications is going to be changing a little bit the way he sees himself. I mean, this peacock shows up. This represents a mature female, so it could represent somebody that he knows is close to him, that maybe there's going to be some communications that he's going to be emphasizing with that person. Or it could represent maybe himself, that he's maybe seeing himself differently as he kind of evolves and expresses himself. He's going to be maybe seeing himself kind of change into the next phase of his career, his life, his personality, everything kind of maturing into the next level of his life. And it says that's going to lead to something surprising that may show up probably around the spring or early next year. The mushroom represents the unusual, the unexpected, something a little bit surprising. It doesn't say if it's good or bad. In fact, it may lead to a decision, key decision or choice that maybe is going to be made, because the Two of Wands represents a decision or choice that is going to be made, or he's going to make roughly about 6 to 9 months from now. And it says that beyond that, as you go out about 9 to 12 months, it seems to say the Nine of Circles unicorn says the more honest he is with himself, the more clarity he has about what to do and how to go about it. And it says that's going to be kind of enlightening for him. The Five of Bamboo is a lotus. It represents enlightenment and awakening and the birth or start of something new and some expansion and growth. So it's going to be pretty good maybe for his career. Looks pretty good as well. And then let's look at his love. Yeah.
Important.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you are out there wondering. I know a lot of you guys ship maybe him with Park Min Young, because they were great. They had a lot of good chemistry in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. But let's see what the title said. It says that there's going to be a door of opportunity that's opening up here in the next 3 or 4 months. The inner tile shows up. It says the door is opening up physically or symbolically. And it says there's going to be some positive things that happen out of that. And the south tile shows up. It represents the favored direction with the sun in the north. So it implies that maybe some positive things are starting to happen as this door opens up, as he gets through the next few months. And it says that's going to lead to something that he feels very hopeful about. This is the Seven of Stars, represents his hopes and dreams. But he's going to be hopeful as things kind of conclude at the end of the year and start the new year. And there may be some important documents or paperwork or written communications that may be part of that hopefulness. Not sure what this is referring to, but it's interesting that shows up, because what that represents. This white tile kind of represents what it looks like. Paperwork, document. Maybe it's just a smart screen, texting. But something seems to be written communication to be emphasized. And it says, as he moves into the new year, this peacock shows up again. Again, this represents a mature woman or somebody with that energy that may be supportive and give guidance, but also could represent him and the way he sees himself. Maybe he's ready to mature into the next phase of his life, his love life. And the peach shows up. The peach represents actually female energy. Usually it's kind of a younger female energy, or at least maybe more intensity of feelings and emotions. Maybe it has to do with aesthetic and beauty and creativity. So I don't know if that's, maybe a fellow actress or what, but it seems like there's some hints around that. And it says that there's going to be, as it goes out, about a year from now, it says there's going to be some challenges, some difficulties that have to be worked through. The North Tower says there is some opposition or some cold wind kind of blowing in his face. So he has to kind of work through these challenges. Not that he can't, but there's going to be some things that have to be worked through. It seems to say if he does work through that, the lotus shows up. The lotus represents enlightenment and awakening, expansion and growth. It's a very positive tile. It represents the start of something new, or the birth of something new. So that's what it says for his love life. So interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And with a number 7 personality, he has to be, when he's in love, the woman he's in love with will have to be very interested in what he loves to do, his interests, his spirituality, any of that. So, but once he's in love, he's in love.
I see.
Yes, he's not insecure about the woman he's with.
Okay. Well, there was recently there was a little controversy because, way back about 7 or 8 years ago, I guess he did an interview and they asked him, like, what kind of partner was it, what is his type? And I guess he said some, comments that were just, taken at the time, that he wanted to find somebody who could be at home and be a wife and mother and mother to his kids, because that's what his experience was. His mother was a stay-at-home mom and obviously loved him, and he turned out to be a pretty good guy, and so that's what he mentioned. But some people gave a little blowback on social media because, like, well, that means he doesn't want a modern woman who's working and all these things. But it's his life, and he's just talking about what he's used to and what he's comfortable with.
Well, also, he being so independent, he needs a woman who's also independent. That, well, as a housewife, that's a lot of work. That's a job in itself. Mm-hmm. So he would want to have that home being taken care of, so he can go out and do his work and his acting and singing, and so that makes sense, because being a housewife is a job. It's a big job.
Well, obviously that was what he's used to, and we, as humans, we tend to be attracted to what we're used to, what we know. So can't blame him for who he is. He's a good guy. Anyway, everybody has their opinions. So.
Well, yes, and I agree that, and he takes life seriously. So I understand why he is so successful. Oh,
okay, yeah. So he's serious about what he does. I think he, you can see that in his roles, because he's very good at his roles. Anyway, so that's about it for Park Seo Joon. We're going to do another video, so you might like and subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, all those things. Because we're going to be doing another one that might be dealing with his ships, like who might be in a relationship department for him, and we'll kind of take a look at that and maybe see
his compatibilities. You mean?
Yeah, see who's most compatible with Park Seo Joon. So we'll do that next. So we're going to do that next. So until next time, wishing you all good fortunes.
I'm your K-rap psychic. Try me twice, you'll like it. My name is Wanugee. Oh, just call me Wanugee. I'm a wise fortune teller and a really mellow fella. Ask me about your favorite idol. See their future, see what's vital.